guys, and welcome to another tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to make a wrap trouser. Well, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're an old subscriber, welcome back as well. Well, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly click on the subscribe button so that you get notified whenever we drop our tutorials. So today we'll be learning how to make a wrap trouser. It's a very simple tutorial. Well, let's get started. So for our wrap trouser, we'll be using 3 yards of fabric, and it's advisable to use crepe or silk or chiffon fabric. So I'm using a plain crepe fabric, and I'm just going to fold it. This is 3 yards, and then length 60 inches. So I'll just fold it first into two like this, then I'll fold it again into two, so that's into 4 places. Okay, so now we've folded our fabric, and this is the measurement we'll be using: waist measurement, hip, and then trouser length. These are the only measurements we need. So first of all, we start with getting the crotch of the trouser. But before then, we're going to rule a line, which will serve as our starting point. So just rule any line, going to serve as our starting point for our trouser construction. So this is the line. So from the line here, you take your crotch measurement on this part that is double folded. You take your crotch measurement. So to get your crotch, you say hip divided by 4. But because of the type of trouser we're making, you add 3 inches to it. So the hip you're working with is 45. Divided by 4 is 11.25 plus 3, that is 13.25. So from here I'll measure, no sorry, that is 14.25. So from here I'll measure 14.25. So this is 14.25. That is 11.25 plus 3 is 14.25. So you just say hip divided by 4 plus 3. Then you mark it. Then on this part, you mark 8 inches. You mark 8 inches. So this is the 8 inches. Then you use your curve to do your crotch curve. So you can see it. So this is the crotch curve. Then you come out by ½ inch, which is your sewing allowance, so that you don't cut on the exact line. So this is going to be the sewing allowance for the crotch. Now from this 8-inch mark, we're going to take the waist measurement of the person you're making it for. So the waist divided by 4 is what we're going to mark here. So the waist measurement we're using here is 35. Divided by 4 is 8.75. So I'll mark 8.75 here. Then I'll add 5 inches because of the overlap. It's a trouser with rope that you're tying, so you need it to overlap each other. So I'm going to add, you can even add as much as 6 inches or 7 inches, depending on how much. For someone that has the hip measurement is over 45, that is meaning the person has big hips, you can add as much as 7 inches to the waist measurement. But for someone that is slim, you can do 5 inches. So I'm going to add, let me just use 7 for the measurement. So this is 7 inches. So meaning from here is the way half of the way, a quarter of the waist measurement, that is waist divided by 4 plus 7. So this line I'm going to rule it. So now just from here, measure here to know what I get. So this is 23.5. And I'll mark the same 23.5 on this side, just to get a straight line. What I'm trying to say is from here, rule a straight line down. So I'm just trying to get a straight line. So I'll mark 23.5 also from this side. Then the length of the trouser, from here you place it and get the length of the trouser. So the length of the trouser I'm working with is 45, because it is always good when the trouser flows to the ground level. So it's 45, that is the length of the trouser. So I'll mark 45. Then I'll add 1 inch as hemming allowance to sew the down of the trouser, so which is 46. So I'm going to connect this now with my straight ruler. Then I'm going to connect it with this now. It's a very, very simple tutorial. This is basically all for the trouser. So this is what I'm going to cut out now. Then I'll cut the crotch parts. See now, that's the reason I added half inch is because of the seam allowance. So that's why I cut it on the half inch. Then I'll cut this side. So you don't need to add any seam allowance on the side. We've already added 5, 6 or 7 inch. For me, I use 7 inch here. So from there I'm going to sew it. Just going to fold the edges. So there's no seam allowance on the side. So this is it. Then cutting this part, I'm not going to cut exactly on this line. I'm going to leave half inch because I'm going to add band. The band is going to be the rope to tie it. So I'm just going to leave half inch on top when cutting to join the band. So this is the trouser. So I'll take it to my sewing machine now. I'll open it up like this. You can see it. So take it to the sewing machine. Sew with half inch from here round to this end with half inch. So when I'm done, you see it. Okay, so I want to sew it by the half inch round the crotch. So you just sew it. Sewing, though I didn't use a matching color thread so that you could see the sewing line. The next thing to do is to cut the band. So to cut the band, you just open one side like this, then you measure it from end to end. Whatever you get, you're cutting times 2 of it. So this is 32, so we're cutting times 2, or you could just cut exactly 32, then add 10 inches. So whichever way you want to do it. So 32 plus 10 inches, that is about 42. So I'm going to be cutting 42 length, 42 band. So I just use from the remaining fabric we have, and I'm doing it for the back and front of the trouser. So I'm cutting length 42. While the width of the band, I'm going to cut it on fold. So this is it. I'm going to place it like this to cut on fold so that it will be thick. So just like this, placing it like this, I'm going to cut length 42. Okay, so we're cutting the band and I folded it. So for the length of the width of the band, you can choose maybe 1 inch band or 2 inch band or 1.5 inch band. So I'll be cutting 2 inches here, but after sewing it, I'll be left with 1.5 inch band. So I'll just mark 2 inch. Then I'm using the full length of the fabric, and the full length of the fabric is 52. But like I said, you can just add 10 inches. So I'm going to do it like this to the end of the fabric, then cut it out. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, kindly do just hit the subscribe button now. so that you get notified when we drop new tutorials. And then we have some online classes going on now. We have a ready to wear class. We want to learn how to make the ready to wear two-piece Ankara short gowns. So join our ready to wear class, or you can also join our corset. We have corset and corset advanced class, advanced corsetry class, where you learn everything corsetry. We have kiddies ball gown class, where you learn how to make children wear. We also have trouser and jumpsuit class. We have so many classes. You can leave us a message or a comment if you're interested in joining any of our classes. So this is the band of length 52 inches. So I'm just going to cut here open because the band is serving as the band for the front and the back trouser. So this is it. So I'm going to introduce my trouser back. This is where we joined the crotch. So I'm going to bring one of the band like this, fold it like this. First of all, I'm going to close both ends of the band like this. On the wrong side, I'm going to sew here with half inch, then sew this other end with half inch first. So let me sew it. And I'm sewing it with half inch as well. Turn it out to the correct side. Then I'll fold my band like this to get the midpoint of the band. Just going to fold it like this to get the midpoint. So this could be the front or the back. Or just starting with one of the bands. So it could be the front of the trouser or the back of the trouser. So I'm going to cut it. I'm giving it a notch. This is the midpoint. So the midpoint is where we're going to fix here. So the midpoint where we're going to fix here, and this is it. So we just measure from here to where the trouser stops. From here to where the trouser stops, and this is where it stops. So we're going to notch where the trouser stops. And we'll do it for the second side as well. We place the notch part at the middle, place the band like this, get to where the trouser stops, and then we notch here as well. So this notch part, we're going to turn it back inwards like this to the wrong side and sew from here to the notch part with half inch. And we'll do it on both sides. So I'll be sewing the other parts that we notched still from the wrong side. This is the wrong side. Here we have the first stitch. So I'll still sew it by half inch. So this excess here, we'll just trim it off so that our folding can be neat. Well, this is the time you can also give it a good press. Take it to your pressing iron and press it. So bring here out and use your scissors to bring it out. Since it's not much of a bulk, so it will be easy to bring out. So now that I've sewn it, look at it, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to bring the middle where we first notched, place it here, then use our pin to secure it. So fixing the band, you're supposed to fold the sides of the trouser. So you're supposed to fold the sides. So I'm going to fold the sides first before fixing the band. So to do it, fold the two sides of the trouser before fixing the band. So just fold a little first, then fold it in again. So let's just say half inch twice. So I've sewn the sides of the trouser. So now we can fix the band. So there are different ways to fix band. You can either sew here around first, sew one side of the band first, then turn it with the other part, or just sew it like this. So this is actually the easier way for a beginner. So this tutorial for a beginner, you could easily make this trouser and then maybe rock it to a party or to work or to an event. And I would love to see yours when you make yours. Don't forget, you could send me a message or a DM. Show me your work. I'm pinning end to end. So just raise this end, place it here, and then pin. So I'll take it to my sewing machine now and join it with half inch. The half inch we left on the band and the half inch we left on the trouser, top of the trouser when we were cutting. So I'm going to sew it now. So when you're sewing, make sure you arrange it. Let it align well. Just continue sewing till the end. This is it. So we're going to do the same thing. This is the band, and this partner is going to serve as the rope for the trouser. So we're going to do the same thing on the other part. When I'm done, I'll show you what it looks like. So we're done sewing. So this is it. This is the band added. So you just give it a good press, and this is the trouser. This is what it looks like. This is the trouser. So I'm going to be telling one of my students to wear it now so that you see what it looks like. So my student Esther is going to wear it now. You see what it looks like. The trouser, so she's going to wear put it on now. She's wearing it starting from the back. Just tie it at the front like this. So you can tie it as tight as you want for your convenience. Then from the middle, you just bring it out and then tie it to the back. Isn't this beautiful? So this is basically how to make this trouser. So when she's done tying, you see the back. So just turn around, let them see. Just turn around, let them see the back of the trouser. So this is it. This is what it looks like. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Have a lovely day from HeyJay Stylexio. Bye bye.